And greetings, ladies and gentle players. It's another, I still want to say, wonderful Friday this July of 2022, making it a wonderful day for basics. Over here, not on PandaNet this time, but back on OGS. And I'm gonna admit, there's no reason for me to be on OGS right now, recording as I am doing. However, I was struck by the most amazing name in the history of ever, and I wanted to create a new account just for the name. Which means, new account, new rated games, who knows what rank we're getting today. Let's find out.
Spiel gestartet.
Alright, got a game with a lovely little 6Q. We're playing Erno. Oh yes, we are. Alright, gonna take a nice little 4-4 enclosure point here. Brand new account, so no one knows who I am. Ain't that fun? 4-4-3-4, because he's flashing double 4-4. Regretfully, I forgot to pick out my music, so we're just gonna go with the first pick on YouTube today. Oh, well then, a Sanrinsei today, you say? I will approach. What kind of game does he want to play? A territorial Sanrinsei, an influential Sanrinsei? We're going all cosmic. We're not going all cosmic. Now, I don't like really backing off here because it does open up into kind of a Kobayashi Fuseki here, which kind of gives different sorts of things to play. But here's what we're going to do. I am going to back off. It is a Kobayashi. I am not going to play the Kobayashi variations for this. I'm not going to try to get like a little gotcha moment like, ha ha ha, there's a Fuseki thing here, and this goes with that well, and you didn't know that, so we get a really great lead. Like, no, I'll just play locally here and not really tie this in. There are a few things that are kind of awkward, like, for example, oh, I can't, okay, I can't use the preview thing. Oh, I can't use estimate score either. Oh my god, he disabled estimate score, he disabled the preview thing. So I can't show anything, I'm sad. That's one of the reasons why I actually like playing on OGS, because I can go ahead and do those sorts of things. Like be like, yeah, well, I'm waiting for the person. I could go and fire off some variation, like this is why this is that way, and yeah. But no, apparently not. That is a Samoj, as they say. Also noticing that I've got a weird thing in my background, don't I? Yeah, I got, yeah, over there and over there. Sorry about that. I got green peeking through. Not sure why that is. Maybe my light may be dimming. Maybe I need to change the bulb out or something. But alright, just backing off here. This is not Sente, as I've mentioned before, and I've even mentioned that I'm going to stop responding to it in my videos. In this case, I'm actually going to do that because I feel it's really, really important to highlight why this move is a little bit weird, considering what we see on the board. We see for black that he's clearly got these 3 stones top of the board that kind of says he wants to build a framework. So you'd want to expand off of that framework. Instead, we got my man going into my corner, which is the opposite of what that just said. Why is he interested in the corner when he should be interested in building said framework? So I will call him out on that one. I will go ahead and approach. We'll go ahead and approach. He can take my 3-3. We'll just go ahead and jump. It's not really a big deal. At that point, he needs to still drop what he's doing and approach my 3-4. Otherwise, I grab an enclosure. Then I have an enclosure with an extension and an extension. Enclosure, 2 plus 2 extensions is called a double wing. And that is a really, really good source of making points. What am I listening to? Is this Undercity? Yeah. I've been on a World of Warcraft kick. For those of you who are unaware, I was deeply playing that for a couple of years. It was actually a job for a while, though I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. So, yeah, good old nostalgia feels listening to World of Warcraft OST. So yeah, here's what I'm referring to. I could pincer here, and there are variations you have to be careful of. I can't go back and, you know, show you that right now. So let's go ahead and kick it over to me in the past, or me in the future, and go ahead and show those variations. Don't mind if I do. So essentially what we have here is potential to pincer. This was the old way, which essentially had us avoiding this in the good old Kobayashi for about forever now. Like here, you've got the one stone on the right, little wonderful star point threatening to make your life miserable. So you would want to generally jump at some point into, not being surrounded. Unfortunately, yourself open to the poke and then like whatever re-attack you've got going on here. So your opponent makes territory on the right and the bottom, and then this is really just nothing. Now, there are variations that the AI is okay with to allow you to play here, but the problem is unless you know specifically those variations and how to navigate them, then if someone knows the old way of playing, you might wind up in a similar position to this, where you're just kind of falling behind and not really happy. Yeah. Also, fun fact, one of the reasons why we wouldn't normally play here, among many, is one, you got more aggressive pincer variations. It could be a thing. But in the olden days, back in the before times, you also had descent, for example, into something as simple as attacking the two stones on the right for just getting the corner territory. That's not very efficient for the Kobayashi variation, because now this is not a framework. This is just a group that has a base that is now under attack in exchange for like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points. Not very good there either. Again, you can avoid some of these more disastrous variations if you know the right sequences and their follow-ups. If you don't, then it becomes dangerous. So these are some of the things I didn't want to take advantage of my opponent if they didn't know how to, avoid this kind of thing. All right, yeah, so that's a thing that you can kind of go ahead and see there. I will not do it because I highly doubt he knows the modern like AI counters to why you can get away with that. But it's very, very specific. You kind of got to be careful of it. I just don't want to get my opponent to like a little kind of haha tricked you kind of deal. So he's going to go ahead and settle here. I have to be a little bit careful because after he settles here and he takes a 3-3, I can't extend anymore, right? So because this was me, he plays here, I play here, but ooh, can't. His stone's there, so waboom. Make sure we take our little corner like so. He'll go ahead and grab a base as well. At that point, I get the ability to follow up, double approach, go into the 3-3, get a base if I'm prioritizing left-hand side, like whatever it is I'm trying to do, I can go ahead and do those things. Opening is so easy, isn't it? So easy. As long as you're keeping it nice and simple. There are some people who like to do really complicated things in the opening. Like they'll try to like get you into a taisha or a flying knife or like the large avalanche, which I've always found weird. Those are just like games of memorization. It's like, yeah, I remember this variation. I memorized it. And then it's got these 3 continuations. I memorized those too. So for next 60 moves, I'm just going to regurgitate what I'm just going to regurgitate what the website told me. Like, what? Why do you play those games? That's so weird. So weird. So you can play here. Normally you would want to block this way, but unfortunately this is Sente. So maybe he blocked this way instead, knowing he can keep Sente and then play over here. Unfortunately, it kind of hurts the value of K16. So, not the best use case for the good old Sanrinsei in this case. But yeah, opening is usually just making your stones work with your other stones. Like if one thing's doing something, you kind of want another thing doing something. If you're trying to like play for like a consistent like kind of framework kind of thing. If you're just playing for territory, you can just kind of, play whatever. Be like, yeah, I'm going to play a little thing over here, a little thing over here. They don't have to interact. I'm just playing like low for territory. But when you're going for frameworks and stuff, you kind of got to start seeing the whole board. It's a lot more difficult to do. as we're seeing here, like, what's going on with this, How are these things doing a thing? I imagine he's going to play this one right now to try to connect them on up. Unfortunately, it allows me to play above or below for attachments. So that's kind of a little bit of an annoyance there. And then we've also got the attachment potentially like here still. Kind of awkward, kind of awkward. This push is irrelevant because you don't want to push unless you're going to cut. If you're not going to cut, then what are you doing? Yeah, you might as well just go ahead and play this one and then leave this one as a, what's it called? Kusar. That was ajikashi, as they say. Getting all keshi all up in the ajis. Not good. But now we're playing a 6Q. What is he gonna do? What's next there, sir? What's next? Push again, not sente. And you'll notice there are things still over here. So here we can really call them out. We could really call him out. Start getting the pin turn in place. I'm tempted to forgive him and just extend one more time, but I have to be careful because this is getting kind of large. You know? That's the only way this really works out for him. Like, you keep giving him sente, and then he can, like, tie everything together. Instead, he should have done it now, and I should have had an option to turn here to, like, further reduce this or cut off this little guy. You know, all that good stuff. Gonna go and pincer. He can double Hane it, had a 2 and 3 stone, that's true, but that's also Gote. It's strong on top of the board, but it's strong on top of the board when he's already lost half of the top of the board. So it's not like, you know what I mean? So now he should jump up, and now we could jump up as well and get into that kind of thing, or alternatively, we can probably go ahead and do a shoulder hit, playing a little bit faster, leaning on his stones, and I can go ahead and get stronger that way, which is probably what I'm going to prefer. It depends. 6Q, maybe I will just jump up Gote and let him kind of get in like a re-attack, see if he does something like that one, you know? All right, he's turning. Very, very classic. Very, very classic. All right. Now, here you could do two things. You could go for the base, or you could go for the jump, because you'll notice that there is this move. Hello? A little bit stronger there. Yonk. There we go. There's that move, ready and waiting to surround the opponent completely when we do a 1-point jumpers. So that makes that okay. He can fight it with like an attachment or something, but we should be fine. He could attach here too, but again, should be a-okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play it because I know that I can read one move ahead. Like, I play here, like, oh, it gives me the ability to play here. Fantastic. Don't need to read too far out. Pretty good at reading, 1, 2. The risk of bragging a little bit. Sometimes even 3 moves ahead. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, when you're Don level, you can read 3 whole moves in the future. It's pretty amazing. Taking that move for himself. Fantastic. Now, I could drop back like so. We could go here like so. I'll do this one. Let's come out. Not going to play the most severe moves possible. And part of that is because I kind of respect that he's taking his time. It's actually pretty cool. I like to see it. I haven't seen anything completely crazy from good old Erno right here. Like to see that too. I see that he's doing well against 5Ks. 6k, 7, 6, 14, losing to a 2. Muy unfortunate there, as they say in Japan. Got 4s, 5s. So, I mean, yeah. He's doing pretty good. Way to go, Erno. Way to go, little duder. How many game? Ooh, 12 pages of game history. Ooh. I get the sense that he might not be a true 6Q. He might be closer to 5. Ooh, maybe he looks close. Okay. Okay, that one was bad. That was a bad move. Like, you got all of this. There's no reason to play that. Tell you what. Like I said, I like what you played so far. I'm going to go ahead and do a really, really passive move right now. And let you play whatever it is your heart desires. I would kind of recommend poking me here, though, just for Sentei's sake. It kind of eliminates my easy ability to play D12 and gives you, as a result, probably a couple more points. You know, makes me a little bit heavier. Kind of that kind of thing. Nailed it. Let's see. Moves for black. Screw white's moves. What about moves for black? Where would I play for black? So I'd want to get in a move like this at some point. I'm digging this one. And I'm also digging an invasion over here for black. This, I'm going to go ahead and classify as late mid-game. Double Hane there, because it helped out the top, sure, but I mean, if the left is solidified, the extension is not really that much of a problem, because if white comes up and black's already alive, I'm not really putting pressure on anything new, so it's like, meh. Like, disconnections are painful, because both groups that are disconnected need to be stable. So if they're already stable, then who cares? All right, this is an interesting move, I will grant, but the idea here, unless I miss my guess, is he wants me to play here so he can hit me here, take my shape point away. In this case, there's a very, very, very good case to be made for just backing off to make sure that he can't get this one in Sentei. But I want to know if he's actually going to hit it. There you go, buddy. Swing for the fences, Meryl. What reference did that come from? Swing for the... Oh, that was like... What was that? Was that like the Mel Gibson UFO movie? Wow. I don't know where that reference came from. All right, so once again, I'm tempted to drop down and have him poke at my shape point. You would defend against this right now by playing this one. He can Atari me, that's true, but he has to connect in order to ruin my shape. That connection is Gote, so I could keep playing away. That's why this is more important than this. But once again, I'm curious to see. So I'm going to place a bogus Atari on him. I mean, it's Sentei, so it's fine. It's whatever. But I want to see if he's going to defend himself thinking, ooh, I'm trying to attack you. Or if he's going to be attacking me. So super scary Atari. All right, had to change my track. The World of Warcraft Undercity was quite nostalgic. But it was getting the bad kind of nostalgia. Because that city was usually always deserted. So you went there and you were always alone. There's no reason to ever go to that particular capital city in World of Warcraft. So I switched to Final Fantasy music instead. Alright, got the Atari there. Now here is where I think I am over giving him chances. Because if I ruin my shape too much, this is just going to get really, really bad for me. This Atari, unfortunately, wasn't the best, in my opinion. I really wanted him to like play like the poke as I showed earlier, maybe the poke here as well. One of those two. He's had chances, he didn't play them. So we are going to seek shape for ourselves. So the point here is you can see that I'm beginning to make a shape on the outside. I can go ahead and turn and do cool things there. It's becoming much, much, much harder to actually kill me as a result of this one teeny tiny move. And it's a little bit of a threat here too. Because generally speaking, we want to have the most pressing move to accomplish whatever it is we're trying to accomplish. So here, I'm getting the shape, but I'm also threatening, oh, hey, my one stone, I might save it. Ooga booga, very scary. That said, he shouldn't be scared, and he should probably either just extend down to C11 or even Hane here, just to, you know, kind of resist. You don't really want to just push back here, because that might even be Gote, because I can still come out, I can get shape. Ooh. Yeah, see? Yeah, see? Tell you what, I'm going to play here and see if he takes it. If he does, we'll pat his little head again and play here. Otherwise, I'm playing this one, and my territorial count is just going to keep increasing as we start sealing off this. This and this are already solid. That's not bad. There you go. Do whatever you want. Hoping for an invasion. Kind of keeps the game a little bit more even. If I start jumping up, I'm threatening invasions. We're expanding. I can expand here. I do like this extension here because it helps address the little annoyance of me potentially coming on in. Oh, well, hello there, good sir. Do I see a throw-in, or are you just happy to see me? I'm assuming the throw-in, otherwise, like, why would you push and not just, like, save for the jump later? But now the probe here is starting an Atari. Before, it might even be ignored. Because you play here, and then if this is not actually played, then you don't care, and then he cuts. It's not an Atari, so you just extend, then he has to go, and you extend, then he has to go, and then it's just not a problem, right? Again, trying to play a little bit faster. Final Fantasy music is so nice. Not complete. Yeah, I guess it's kind of live. But I can play this one, but he play. Yeah, because here he'd push first, and then Atari, and there. So this should be alive. This is maybe a co-threat. That's a bit of a co-fritter. It's one of them co-fritters. That's what they call them move when you play here. It threatened to do a thing, but don't quite work. Need that as a free move. That's why we call it a co-fritter. Sorry, person who hates my voices. I don't care. But I love it when you go out of your way to tell me. It's like, I hate it when you make voices in your videos. Like, okay. That sucks, man. I make videos that I enjoy. And hopefully y'all do too. Some of you won't. But that happens. Once upon a time, I made videos that a game development company didn't like. One of my most proudest moments of content creation. It's like, please stop showing all the bugs in our game. It's like, no. No, I won't. So if he does a double Hane here and connects, then we get the Senteis. We get the Senteis all Senteiing. So we're going to jump out. Like so. This is still a little bit of an invasion point, but my response has changed. I can go ahead and cap it. I could even, this is something you don't see very often. Let's go ahead and take some time out and show it. And yeah, to that, I could even play something like this one. It's not the best one, but like if you can like picture that. Because he pushes, we have an easy block, right? Only problem is there's 2 invasion points here, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I can play here that will absolutely kill it. But then you can play here and threaten to go underneath. So it's kind of a... But a lot more options here. Definitely a lot more options here now that I got the 1-point jump. And the true big baddie of this 1-point jump is the fact now I'm threatening this one, right? This feels actually bad. Like, I'm showing you variations that he clearly doesn't want me to do because he turned it off in his game settings. But I hope you all know that I know these variations regardless of me clicking on them on the board, okay? So yeah, he plays here. We do that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and then that one. And now the shapes for black in response to all these would be here, 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 and then here, here. At which point we would end by playing something maybe as simple as wrong color. Something as simple as this little guy right here. So you kind of like take the corner for free, get some reinforcement on the outside, and this turns into like a really ugly variation that you really don't want to play. You can kind of see that, right? You can kind of see that. You can kind of see that. Okay, 4th line. Top of the morning to ya. Now when he plays here, I can kill it. 100%. This is not an invasion point anymore. But my points are getting to be a bit more interesting than his, so let's go ahead and mention those. Like, this one here is still a thing, because here he drops down to block me. I jump up, he blocks me again, right? And then we're just like, oh, well, blam. He can Hane, or he can push down, but then we Hane, and then we are nicely connected. With easy shape, right? 1-point jump into the horse's face, or whatever that's called. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. This is a bit of a boring game in the sense, don't get angry, in the sense that right now this is mainly just Joseki. Right? There aren't really any big decisions being made. It's just like, we play a Joseki here, we play a Joseki here, he screwed up a Joseki here, little unfortunate. He mistimed the Joseki here, so he didn't get like a really good sequence. I'm going to make things a little bit more interesting and play... crap. I was going to play here, but he surrounds and this turns into a thing. Fine, I'll come out, separate them. You gotta keep them separated. I don't want to actually hit the stone, because if I strengthen it, I lose my invasion point. Like, I play here to strengthen, and then maybe he just drops down. Oh, unfortunate. And then I still have Liberty shortages, so I play here. I can't really Hane, because I was an Atari, and then... I'm guessing he'll defend here, which ain't bad. We'll climb above and be like, hey, how you doing? And he'll be like, don't invade me. And I'll be like, pretty please. And he'll be like, no. All right, big move. Big move's cool. Here, here, into here, I think it still works. Like, if you envision in your mind's eye, right? I play here, he says die in a fire. I say no, he says yes. I do a 1-point jump here now. He's got to play this one to not be dead, which now gives me this, and then this, and this. I think I can live there. I think I could live there. I'm not going to, but I just think I could. I'll play here instead. If that was like so huge, and I didn't have maybe the entire hand side, then I'd be like, maybe I need a dual reduction there, you know? But we got some pretty good profit on the upper left-hand side. The right's doing not too bad either. He wants me to drop down. Oh. That is an invitation to partay. Not a good one either. That's a bad invitation. I drop down now. He denies me. I connect. He hanes. What does he do? I hane now. I'm trying to kill both sides. Like this. Oh, that right there. Huge invitation to just drop dead. I admit I don't want to do it. Oh, I don't want to do it. Like he's played so I mean he's nah. This might be the only fight this game. I'll back off here just because I wasn't supposed to get this. He was supposed to play here, and then it's supposed to be his territory, and it's gonna be fine, hip happening, awesome. But I guess on player, I'd stab him to death right now. I would beat them to death with the power of my computer. Interesting reading exercise. So you play here, right? If he denies you and plays here, you can still drop down. He denies you. And then suddenly you can play way over here. He drops down and denies you. You extend up. He denies you. But then you make an empty triangle threatening to cut through here. And if he denies that, you cut here, and then these two stones are dead. As I'm sure y'all knew. So I think this is probably a fairly straightforward game right now. I mean, I don't really want to lose like the middle-y stuff to him, so there we go. The 3-3 is the biggest move on the board right now because the variation that I showed. I'll give him one chance to defend it. If he gives me Sentai or slow move, I'm taking it away immediately. Alright, got an attachment on me. I will not ignore the attachments. We do not ignore attachments, shoulder hits, caps, anything that could damage our stones. That is Final Fantasy VII. Oh yeah, it's the opening. Good game. Remake was great too. I really enjoyed the remake. So here I'm threatening to Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones, which is why I'm extending. And I don't want his turn to be Sentei against me. I'd be saying, but what about if he plays here? It's not a big deal, not a big deal. If he plays here, I'll probably just extend, and then he like drops down or something, and then we'll like do a little new a loose like netty times, and we're fine. Should be fine. Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones. Okay, weird fight that we're getting into here, but I can't abandon it right now. Because it opens up my cutting points. Okay. So I've got a cutting, I do have a cutting point, and you're all about the Fine, I'll defend it. We're all about the you-know-what. It's Sentei. Like, it's pretty much Sentei. It's pretty much Sentei. Doom, 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 doom. Hey, you got my attention. What are we doing? How you doing? Do tell, my good friendo. How it be hanging, yo? I really want that 3-3, but I can't really do it right now, if you know what I mean. So we'll wait. Just waiting. Just a waiting. Ba ba da ba ba da bum bum. That ain't going nowhere. Don't even gotta read it. Like, this needs 2 eyes. How's it gonna do it? Send to the second line? Do we just like full on just ignore him? I could humor him. Like, also, how do you know that this doesn't live? Because if you're on the second line, you need what? 3 lines? No, 3 lines is only 1 eye, right? 4 lines? No, not 4 lines. 5 lines. Okay, 5 lines if you have Sente on each, but okay, but you're not going to. So 6 lines? Like, come on. How are you getting 6 lines on the second line from here? Like, bruh, it ain't happening, you know? I feel like if I 3-3 him right now, we're essentially pushing an old man down a flight of stairs and then lighting him on fire once he's reached the bottom. It's like, I've survived! No, you haven't, Grandpa! You know? I'm not doing it. I can't bring myself to do it. It feels too gross. It feels too gross. But yeah, you 3-3, and then you do the variation that I just showed. You pretty much take this. His only territory is this, and that's just nowhere close to having enough points for the game. Nopers. You got my attention. Where are we off to? Where are we off to, my good man? He could try to play something like this one. That would be kind of tricksy. Okay, we are gonna show how to murder us a fool. I apologize, sir. Just know that your death is not in vain. Others will learn from this. So here he's fully surrounded. All you have to, your groups aren't in trouble. So the only consideration that you have is just making sure that you're not dead and taking away his 2 eyes. That's the only considerations we got, right? Don't lose on time. Please don't lose on time. Please don't. Okay. Okay, so we can go down in here. We could even go down in here because he'll probably try something like this one. We go bop, 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 and he still can't get the 6, right? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they both had to be Sente, right? They both had to be Sente. So he turns, I block, boom. He gets that one, but then it's boom, boom, throw in dead, right? So that said, we can just go ahead and play here. This one's a lot easier. Just go ahead and break. Bum, bum, na, 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 na. Don't gotta worry about nothing. We ain't worrying about a thing there. No siree. Okay. So far, so good. But as you can see here, he's dead. He bedebbed. Dead. Now he might try to go for a Hane here into a connect, but this doesn't really matter because we can go ahead and just be like Atari connect Hane, and we're alive in the corner, so it's not really a big deal. The Atari there is definitely not a thing. We can go ahead and take. He can Atari us again. We'll go ahead and connect because there's no eyes to be found here. So he's trying to play really, really solid. I can tell that. which is not bad. But a few slow moves in the opening really, really does hurt you. And then there were a couple of weird shape things that were just kind of like, I don't know about that one, you know? That's not Atari. He's unable to Atari meow. Sorry. Sorry. Not really sorry, actually. I love this name. We're Atari meow. Are you going to Atari meow? I hope you don't Atari meow. Sorry. I don't know why I like the name so much. I think it's cute. I think it's cute as hell. Let's go ahead and connect up. Make sure we're nice and solid, safe, all those good buzzwords. All those happy little buzzwords. All right, we'll go ahead and do a little jumper doodle. What if he cuts? Just go back into a table. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. If he keeps pushing, then we'll keep pushing. Suddenly things get cut because this cutting point's not defended. It's not really a big deal. You trying to cut next to a cut point is just a little bit of a fight. That's all. It's not a problem. Just don't be too drawn to your stone. A 1-point jump is probably better. A 2-space extension is probably better too, but this is fine. It is a-okay. It is muy très bien, as they say. Might be saying this yourself that no one says that. That's okay. They should. Now, if I play here, he does the thing. I'm going to go ahead and play this one instead. Don't want to worry about it anymore. Yoink. So I got some reduction here. The rest of this is just going to be endgame at best. Right? So I'll probably go ahead and speed up the rest of the game. And I'll see y'all at review. Alright, so that was a game. Quite surprising, actually. He used up all his time. He was pretty, solid of a player, which is not bad. If he can just kind of, like, cover up some of his, what do you call it? A little more passive moves, he'd be kind of dangerous, actually. Here with Sanrinse, yeah, I usually see this. I don't like this particularly much because you've got various. I mean, you can play this, you can play this, you can play this, whichever like variation you like the follow-ups more better. You can play that here, not a big deal. But yeah, a lot of times I tend to lose Senta here as black, which is why I'm not a particular fan. 9 times out of 10, I would rather just play high here. If I am being honest. This is fine, but again, usually I would rather go ahead and approach the Kobayashi. And if I did my job properly, then I went over this variation already. But yeah, this should be here. That way we've expanded our framework across all the things. This is probably one of the first frameworks any player actually has probably played because you just cover up star points. You approach, then play star point. You approach, then you play star point, right? So yeah, this was a little bit, not so good. The high, though, works with this, which is pretty great. I would, like, you could play here, here, here. Like, this is a thing that you could do and then attack. Like, it's a higher level thing that you could do, but you can do this. This is actually not bad if you really wanted to go all in on the frameworky, buildy, moyo kind of dealia. I mean, yeah, sure, you could absolutely do this. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, push, not so great. And then here, it's the same thing. A lot of people do this one. They're like all over this one. But I think this one's a little bit better because, like, if we play here, this is just better shape. I'm sorry, it is. That's just how that works. And then fighting it is a pain in the booty. Because, like, even if you get a Hane, it's like, all right, now I'm going to kill you. It's like, no, you're not. It's like, okay, then I'm going to play here. It's like, oh. It's like, okay, then I'm not going to do that. Ha I'm going to play here. It's like, oh, okay, so do I get the corner? No. It's like, okay, my shape's still fine. Like, what's the deal? What's the deal, Bob? Like, we'd be fine. Then you play here, which gives your opponent an option to play this one. It does allow the immediate life into the corner, but if the goal is just to connect up, then hey, how you doing? Mission accomplished. And then yeah, here I was thinking something like this one. Don't have to really worry about here because this all just kind of connects. The shape's kind of screwy. I ain't saying it ain't, but because, like, you've got all of this stuff that's kind of bad, right? But is a death. Just saying. So I gotta be very, very careful here. Like, I'm meant to do something like over in here into here. Poke that out, I guess. And then now we've got, like, this disgusting shape of whatever this was supposed to do. All about the shape, all about the shape. Which is also why, again, you do a wablam, because even if they do this one, and then defend, you're gonna have, like, at least the one eye. They can't do anything about it, so you've got better shape here. And then, yeah, here, it's just unfortunate. Little bit too over defensive. Like right now, it definitely gotta start getting in there and reducing, otherwise it's gonna be too large. Too large. Too large. And then he played there with the defense, and just to highlight that again, so go here into like here or something. Like this gets very, very complicated. Like it looks like this is what we're condemning ourselves to, right? They're telling me that that is dead now? Bruh, it's got 4 liberties. Yeah, this group's got way more than 4 liberties. This thing is so dead. It's not even funny. This thing is so dead. And then here, maybe this, but at least a kick or something into like a defense over here. I could get something like this one on in. There's something like this, I suppose. But yeah, at this point, I just feel like it's just too much. White just wins. White just wins game. But overall, not bad. Not bad from the Urno. I feel like he can improve very easily. I feel like he could improve very easily. He's got the I need to protect my groups thing down pretty well. He just needs to get a little bit more of the invadey stuff happening, be a little bit more aggressive. A little bit more aggression with some of the solid play, and yeah. Not bad, not bad. Way to go, Urno. Good luck. Hour and 20-minute recording. Okay. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.